Hello, thanks for joining. My name's Jeff Demuth. I'm a solutions architect at AWS or Amazon Web Services based out of Austin, Texas, and I'm a part of our geospatial specialty team. Today I just wanted to show a quick video to show how easy it is to migrate from Oracle to Postgres when you're using ArcGIS. You can see in the background here I've got ArcGIS Pro loaded up, and I'm just going to copy a table between these two databases. In ArcGIS Pro, I've got connections to both of our databases. We've got the Oracle connection running on an EC2 instance, and then we've got Postgres running on an RDS instance. This is, I believe, an R6G Graviton 2XL instance, and the Oracle's running on an R6i Intel instance, 2XL as well. It's a relatively small table, but I've just got some OSM data, OSM places, and it's just very easy. You click copy, and click on Postgres, click paste, and this is a small table. It's probably just under a gig. I've got some larger tables in here as well that I'll talk about in a little bit. But for demonstration purposes, this is pretty quick. It should be done. We'll see it pop up down here. Any moment now. There we go. And it's complete. So I've got, I mean, that was pretty quick, maybe a minute. I've got a table that's about 40 gigs. It's actually a related table. So one table's a little over 20 gigs, and then the other table's a little over 10 gigs, and I've got a relationship on them. The copy feature is nice because when I copy one of those, it's aware of the relationship, so it'll go and grab the other table and copy them together. That was taking, with the copy tool, about 3 hours. There's a couple other tools in here that you can use to copy, so feature class to feature class or feature class to Geodatabase. The export tool, also export to XML workspace. I did a little bit of benchmarking with these, but most of these were actually significantly longer. So I mean, 2 times, 3 times longer. I've seen 5, 6, 7 hours, 10 hours. The export to XML workspace was taking the longest, but that's nice because it creates a file that you can copy. There's another option as well called the Geodatabase replicator. That was actually probably the fastest, and probably a good place to start if you can do it. The big caveat there, though, is it requires versioning on the table. So you have to enable traditional versioning. And I played around with the table, so it was pretty easy to turn on the versioning, and then I was able to turn it off. I was also able to take a table that had branch versioning on it and change it to traditional and then change it back. I don't know that I would recommend switching it just because I don't know the impact that would have on the destination table, if that would break anything, but it did technically work. And what else did I have? Let's see. So another option is AWS has some native tools to do this. So DMS, our database migration service, it has some support for geospatial data types, geometry, geography. When I tested it, copying from Oracle to Postgres, it was ultimately successful, but it had a couple of hiccups where I had to keep restarting the job. It might have a better experience with some of the other database engines. So if you're going Postgres on-prem to Postgres on AWS, or SQL Server to Postgres, that might be an option. Another option you could do to be able to use the database migration service is create that geometry convert the geometry to WKT, which is a text-based representation of the geometry. So WKT, well-known text. There's a spatial command on Postgres, Oracle, most database engines just called st as text that you'll run against the geometry that'll convert it. And then with the geometry in text form, it's very easy for the database migration service to pick that table up and copy it. Another important call out here too is this Oracle instance is running Esri's stgeometry library, which is also why I had to run it on EC2 to be able to add that stgeometry library in there. So when I'm copying this table, Esri is actually converting that geometry type for me to Postgres. So I hear that come up a lot, that how do we convert the geometry from stgeometry to PostGIS geometry? Esri takes care of that for you. So when you run that copy command, you can see it was very quick. That was a gig table, and it copied it, in a minute. And that larger table, 40 gigs, it was able to copy and convert the geometry in around 3 hours. So pretty easy to do. And typically would recommend using ArcGIS Pro to copy these tables, just because it's aware of all the metadata and copies everything over. Well, that's all I had for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and feel free to comment if you have any questions. Happy to make more of these if you'd like to see anything specific.